All right, Dr. Fung, you are up. So you say eating nearly 2,000 calories in one sitting isn't that bad if someone is on the OMAD diet. So tell us more.
These concerns about intermittent fasting, to me, seem a little bit misplaced because it's not something that we just came up with like in 2021. I mean, Dr. Kahn mentioned Mark Mattson. Dr. Mattson reviewed in the New England Journal of Medicine in December 2019, and he had no concerns about that. In fact, and I quote here, he says, intermittent fasting improves multiple markers of cardiovascular health, including blood pressure and cholesterol. And not only that, but he goes on to point out that, hey, it may play a role in reversing or preventing cancer, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, not to mention weight loss and type 2 diabetes. So we know what happens. When you don't eat, your insulin levels go down, which acts as a diuretic. You start to pee out. Your blood pressure actually tends to fall. You lose salted water. And at the same time, other hormones, such as growth hormone, go up, norepinephrine goes up, you activate the sympathetic nervous system. So your body is actually being flooded with energy. And that's why people can lose weight, because their metabolic rate is being maintained. You think of the hungry wolf. That wolf who hasn't eaten, he's locked in, he's able to concentrate, he's got a lot of energy, and the metabolic rate is up, because that's a protective mechanism. When we don't have anything to eat, our body actually switches to using body fat and our blood sugar, but gives us more energy so that we can go out and hunt. After all, that's exactly the reason we carry body fat. It's a store of food calories. And if we don't have anything to eat, we access that.
Well, there's no debate amongst the three of us that there are roles for fasting to promote health. The details are the difference. And this isn't a fasting diet. This is fasting gorging within 1 hour, which has been shown in animal and human models to induce insulin resistance, fancy term, but your liver's not functioning well in your muscles and handling blood glucose, LDL, blood pressure. It's a bad rap. Now, the diet just described has been quoted by Dr. Walter Longo, professor at USC. Eat a high-fat, high-protein diet to promote cancer. It'll take you a decade. I don't want to look good till I get chemotherapy. I don't want chemotherapy. Finally, it's beautiful to talk about autophagy. Ask what blood test any three of us do to actually define autophagy. Unknown, can't measure it. It's all woo. I won't recommend woo to my patients. I'll recommend fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes with modest animal products if they wish, patterned after the Mediterranean diet, which is the only place you can gravitate to and be a legitimate nutrition expert. Sorry, everything else is vanity.
Got it.
Dr. Kahn, I'm just curious, what's your thought on how our ancestors ate, though? Because you go back 1,000,000 years or 100,000 years, they were eating meat, a meat-based diet. And they would eat once a day if they were lucky. They had to hunt it up.
Take my smartphone and Google those questions and realize I'm not an ancestral eater because I'm living with Wi-Fi and stress and microbes that didn't exist. I think it's a fallacy to say pattern after people that have an average lifespan of 35 years. You want to look good and live long. I'm 11 years older than you. I want to look good and live long, but I'm going to do it in a way consistent with the literature. Can we learn from our ancestors? Of course. I would go to the Daniel fast in the book of Daniel, and eating waters and pulses produce good results. That's actually been studied at the University of Memphis in Tennessee and actually does produce good results.